Hello everyone! Welcome back to another stream of Ace Attorney Investigations. I'm on the main screen because, look! The airplane is there! It shows, like, what case I'm on at the main menu. I think that's kind of awesome. Anyway, let's begin. Let's continue where we left off, which is right here. Yes. Last time we played this game, cool things happened. And now, we're gonna keep on playing. Gonna beat this case. We're with Detective Gumshoe, with these random peoples, this tree. Let's talk to the random peoples scattered about. I'm gonna get into my chat room real quick, cause my new computer is in, and I don't know if it's hooked up properly. As soon as someone chats in chat, I will know. Alright, hello you two. Lunchland. Not bad. I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own branch shops. What should I go with? I recommend our airport special World Flags lunchboxes, only available for a limited time. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags. Wonder if they're aiming to take Lunchland to the international market. Probably. This man was in the first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair. Quiver, I did it. I made the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. Must have been pretty scared. He's repeating the same thing over and over to himself. And what does this boy have to say? What a view of the planes preparing for takeoff. Besides the turbulence, they're really not all that bad as a mode of transportation. What do you have to say, sport? This child seems to be happily enjoying the sights of so many planes. Wow, I'd love to take a run down that runway. Oh, the youth of today. So much potential, yet so misguided. And I already spoke to, Salmonella here. So, let's speak to Gumshoe. Initial investigation, Franziska von Karma. She's here too. So how is the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office, and we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Franziska. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was, a little too quick, sir. Oh? How so? I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow when I got here, Miss von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something, and had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Miss von Karma just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details? It's kinda top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, detective. Although I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. I guess, oh, we can talk to everyone again? Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before. Nom 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 nom. In Soviet Russia, world flag lunchboxes eat you. Mr. Edgeworth, we gotta get him some water. Found it, lol. Oh, I feel a wave of creative powers coming on. It's over 9,000 lols. My next movie's gonna be the Steel Samurai War of Neo Tokyo. Yeah, gotcha. Good thing it was a false alarm, right, Mr. Edgeworth? So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. Completely ignores me as usual. Whimper. Alright, good stuff. Who's this new guy? So you must be the captain. Why, yes I am, and who might you be? I am the prodigy prosecutor, Franziska von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Don't you dare, Captain. Getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I like to leave that type of witness to Franziska and her whip. Ah! Oh, it's always good to see Franziska again. Oh, we have an angry person on this floor. Now see here. Ah! Sorry, I'm sorry. How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal, I told you. Mr. LeBlanc. Oh, it's you. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Well, more problems, more troubles. Did you finish taking a statement yet? Yep, all done, sir. I do not concern if you're not done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. Oh. Some kind of insect was on me there. Okay, from folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kinds of arts. Folk costumes? Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat, it kind of looks like the other piece of cloth. Ah, the other piece of cloth. This one. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's a Burgundian cloth. As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose. Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous, orders come from over the seas for more. Interesting. Then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier. No. My cargo this time is many gigantic. You detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of you police, it is no good. And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room, too. That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Miss Teniro. Yeah, what's the deal? Rhoda Teniro. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendant's room for her interview, and then they still have not come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Teniro's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Teniro. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight attendant's room. Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Oh. And here we go. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. The likeliest suspect, Franziska. Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you to use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic. Fast! Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion.
Hold it!
Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit? I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. There, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. 3 ow! I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence. I see she hasn't changed a bit, but I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily. The scene of the crime was here, in this very lounge. The body was discovered. Hey, Captain Chips. Time to tango with the fiancé? Who do you mean by that? Do you mean tango with the prosecutor? But what's up? How you doing, Captain Chips? So tell me, Franziska, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene? All I know is that I need to know in order to arrest you, and nothing more? Are you saying there is more that I need to know? Ah, why did you whip me, sir? Sorry, Scruffy, my hand must have slipped. It would appear that Franziska doesn't have all the facts of this case yet. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found... you cannot tell me that Franziska and Edgy aren't married, that these two go at each other? I don't know. I think people are more into the, Phoenix and Edgeworth ship, to be more honest.
Hold it!
By the way, Captain Chips, it's in. It's here. What do you mean by seen? Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 a.m., and then from the time after that call until the body was found. The only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. I'm gonna save the game here. What's here? The computer. The laptop. The other laptop. What about this cloth?
Objection!
Yeah. I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna know these. Hey! Hey, Stars Over Hyrule! Fair adorable Will has arrived. Stars Over Hyrule. How you doing? Objection, it's a Stars raid. Overruled. I got nothing. How's everyone doing, though? Welcome to the Ace Attorney's Investigations game. Need help setting it up? Well, I gotta tell you, Captain Chips, this computer's terrible. There's no, there's no protection plan for this computer, and, a bunch of dark web hackers found me and kidnapped me. It's so annoying. Like, what's the deal, brah?
Hold it!
Nah, I'm joking. It's good. I got it all set up, actually. Kind of them to let you stream. Yeah, I told them who I was, and they just set it up for me. But how was your stream, Stars Over Hyrule? Did you play your Tears of the Kingdom? I was lurking in there for a bit, actually. Well, it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time. That fact alone does not make me the criminal. Heh, we'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect.
Hold it!
Tears of the Kingdom. Did you find all the Koroks? Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am most likely suspect. But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. Miss Von Karma's gonna believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like siblings. Ow! Quiet, Scruffy. Even if we were related by blood, that's no guarantee that he's not a criminal. Franziska, I demand to see some proof that you are not guilty party. A likely suspect, huh? What a roundabout euphemism. But it would appear that she doesn't quite yet know about the new evidence that we acquired and where we acquired it. I'll take care of the gaps in her logic one hole at a time. The scene of the crime was here in the very lounge the body was discovered. All the random stuff, all of them. Awesome! I'm glad your Tears stream went good. Hey, Mafia! I do actually have one complaint about this computer. The screen is actually smaller, so it might be harder to see the Twitch chat when I'm looking up stuff on a guide or something. But aside from that, it's pretty good so far. The charger works. I can charge the computer, the laptop. It's awesome. How's your day, Mafia? I hope your day was awesome and good and awesome. Transport the body.
Objection!
You can also move your computer now since the battery actually functions. Yep. And it's lighter, too. It's lighter. It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? You're playing Genshin? Nice. Mafia, look! There she is! What does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used the suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all. Oh yeah, everyone in chat needs to guess who the murderer is, by the way. Who is the murderer of this case? We've pretty much seen everyone, I'm pretty sure. So the real question is, who done did it? Excuse me? All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. Avant Karma is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point? As if there is proof of that. Where is the proof that the suitcase was moved around? There. The spilled grape juice in front of the elevator? I feel like you missed half the info, frankly, so you're out for this one. Aww. You normally guess right, though. You always guess right. Spilled grape juice into the elevator. Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Where is the evidence that proves the killer dragged the suitcase through here? Right there. This mark here, wouldn't you say that it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels? I suppose. Further, there is also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses. Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit the turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought up on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? That I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit that turbulence.
Hold it!
And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of its display case? As I recall, the case was locked. That's easy. If the case was locked, you simply had to hit the glass like this. Yow! You've shattered my heart to glass. She wants to talk about the in-flight shop and the Captain Ugo bank, does she? That takes care of how you obtained the murder weapon. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death.
Hold it!
Gonna make a mug cookie? Do you mean a cookie mug? Can I have both of them? I thought there wasn't any of the victim's blood found in the lounge. I thought you'd say that. What? Didn't you think I wouldn't have noticed? I think you just found a way to cleverly hide the blood splatter in the lounge by accidentally spilling grape juice on top of it. Gah, are you accusing me of tampering with the crime scene now? We'll see, won't we? The forensic scientists are hard at work on that as we speak. And what do you propose I did after that? Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase...
Hold it!
So I put the victim's body into the suitcase, and then, where was I headed, Franziska? It's pretty obvious. You were bringing it to first class where you could safely keep an eye on it. We're talking about this thing, you know. I'd hardly call it discreet or ordinary. Annoying brat. Well then, you were intending to leave it inside the elevator, but unfortunately for you, a wrench was thrown into your plans because... the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase.
Hold it!
Was the suitcase locked? I forgot about that, if it was locked or not. I don't remember. Mafia Babe, was the suitcase locked? Do you remember? I mean, of course. Of many times. You get used to it after a while. A patch we hit was especially rough, and I passed out briefly, but only for a second. Good thing it was only for a sec, sir. It'd been bad if you had really blanked out. Yes, indeed. Fortunately, blanking out is exactly what got me into this mess in the first place. Don't remember? But, Mafia, you made this case, you remember? Didn't you make case 2? I mean, only case 2, but then that's enough of your idle chatter. I'm not thrown through with you yet, Miles Edgeworth. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from.
Hold it!
If I really were a criminal, do you really think I would be so easily caught?
Objection!
You are certainly in the middle of being caught right now. Grr. I have to find a contradiction faster. I won't have any much of my own hide left to save. I have to say, you are looking rather caught right now, and I'll tell you exactly what you did after that. You loitered around in the lounge and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Maybe this one? I can think of 2 spots to objection, but I don't remember. It's been too long since I played this game. I hastily put it back, but what about the suitcase?
Objection!
Fudge. Mafia, what's the right answer? Do you remember? Can you quickly look up what's the right answer? Thank you. I haven't, pressed this yet. No. Darn it! I didn't pretend to be anything. I really was the first to discover the victim's body. I suppose that's true. So then, you are yielding to my statements? Don't be foolish. I still insist that you are the killer, but in that sense, you really were the first to discover the body to be dead. No matter what I say, she seems dead set on making me out to be the killer. Logic is reasonably sound, and the large majority of it reflects the truth. But there is one point about it that is not quite right. Alright. I'm guessing maybe the piggy bank. It fell out. Yes.
Objection!
Okay, good. The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. See, Mafia, I knew you knew it. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate you. Evidence and logic. Essentially, tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into that mix? A fake? This Captain Ugo Piggy Bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. No problem. Thank you. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important, and it was taken after the turbulence had occurred. But then, what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick up the bank from off the floor and took it to fabricate a fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ekby Hicks. You there. Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in the lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence, and the remaining items all tested negative for any trace of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end. but it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir. Eek! If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence, which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderer's personage, or is still in the real crime scene. At the real crime scene. There is one more possibility, and that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. But didn't we just... Let me finish. The killer took the piggy bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was at the time that the glass pane in the door was broken. I'd say that perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see. So that means that the killer had the key to the display case. Franziska, the person you're talking about... Not so fast. I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak with her. Yes. Very well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her, but you are welcome to accompany if you wish. Miss Tenero is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Well, you heard her. Was she the murderer, guys? So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission? Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Miss Tenero. Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too? Can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did? All right. We can also examine things. Like the trash. Clue or some sort in this trash can. Detective Gumshoe, if you please. Yes, sir. You just leave the rummaging to me. Scruffy, how dare you go through a woman's trash without her permission? Have you no sense of honor? Eek! I'm sorry, I'm just doing what Mr. Edgeworth told me to do! Forgive me, Detective. Ooh, we have some gold stuff in there. Alright, hello. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. What do you mean? The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Mealy. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Tenero, is it? There is one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well, Why the sudden hesitation? Franziska seems to have struck a nerve. All I did was go check up on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work, then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell. Miss Teneros claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. You know what that thing is, right, guys? I mean, this thing? You could please take a look at this for me, Miss Tenero. Oh, that suitcase! Yes, about this suitcase. You are the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something out else about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase? Yes, Righto, you return? Welcome back! What's up? How's your milk, cookie mug? I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. I know that as a service professional, I am not supposed to care, but I really wanted to know, and I was glad to see that it was the last one there. The last one there? Huh. Huh. So you're saying, Miss Tenero, that the suitcase in question was the last one? Yes, they're just so popular, they're practically flying off the shelves. That's not exactly the impression I got. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. Well, we're currently looking at that suitcase. Really? Then I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. Then say you'll buy it. I'm sorry, I can't. But why? I think it'd go great with your complexion, Mr. Edgeworth. It really suits you. Coffee mug is good. Very good. I guarantee it personally as a service professional. Well, that is... How should I put this? It's hideous. What? Maybe that was a bit too direct. Moving on, my issue with the suitcase isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it. 2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only 1. Looks like her story has generated quite the contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only 1 suitcase left. Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Miss Tenero, what is one of those suitcases doing here? That's... I thought you said there was only 1 left. But that one is, it's mine. I used it for a very long time. Sneaky woman. Sneaky! She used it for a long time. I think not. Miss Tenero, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. Excuse me? I don't believe for even 1 second that you've used this for a very long time. What proves that this hasn't been used for nearly as long as Miss Tenero says? I see a price tag!
Take that!
Tell me, Miss Tenero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? Ah! What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about a suitcase? Despite having faith in her design sense, the sales numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Miss Tenero, I think I understand. I know what you are trying to hide. Now then, the suitcase was originally in the save menu. The in-flight shop. Seeing as how the price tag is still on this suitcase, one can only assume it was out on the floor for sale in the shop. And the person who bought the suitcase was... none other than... Franziska von Karma. Or herself.
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Miss Tenero? I hate to say this, but this suitcase that you designed, it hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly this design that you poured into your heart into was selling, and were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? Then the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... I'm sorry. All I really have is my job. I was overjoyed when my design was chosen. I thought that maybe I had finally accomplished something. But the suitcases didn't sell. It's because of the design, isn't it? All because it's, as you put it, hideous. What is the most expensive suitcase in the world, guys? Does anyone know? Does it even come close to the price of this suitcase in this game? I can't say whether they chose a great place in which to sell them either. We weren't selling a single one, and they were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there day in and day out, so I decided to buy one for every flight I worked. You buy one every single time you work a flight? I see. So in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. 60 grand. Does that mean $600,000? Who in their right mind would buy one that expensive? Yes, and here is my receipt for the purchase. This receipt is clearly timestamped 5:40 a.m. 600,000. Forget it. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining ones at the end of this flight. Miss Tenero, where are the other suitcases? They should all be down in the cargo hold. Then, the suitcase that Killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think that the killer used one of my suitcases to... Yes, I do. The killer used one of your beloved suitcases to move the victim's body. Ah! How could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trips. Designer brand Louis Vuitton, and their name alone jacks up the price by literally as much money as they care to charge. Tch, I know not who this person is. Meanwhile, I get suitcases that are like 50, 100 at most. Talk about me being cheap, huh? That's all I ever wished for them to be. Miss Tenero, is there any other way to get up to the cargo hold other than the elevator? The only other way is just through that door there. And what about the security? That door has no special lock installed because, just to enter this room, you need a special key card that only crew members have access to, which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only the crew members as potential suspects. I can't believe it. Yes, Franziska? Not a single suitcase, it's an entire set, including a freaking streamer trunk. Oh, jeez. That's a little out of my price range, and a little too much baggage for me. Going on wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the Von Karma name. And what do you mean by that? The suitcase came from the cargo hold. The fact alone tells the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their key card. Miles Edgeworth, you're proposing that the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct? Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. That other attendant, Miss Mealy. I asked her earlier and she had this to say. Franziska got information out of Miss Mealy? In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different key card is required. A different one? Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenero, and only you. Ah! What? Is this true, Miss Tenero? Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all times. Could you please show us that card right now? Yes, hold on. Ah, I don't believe it. What's wrong? The key card, it's gone. Haha, very clever. Pretending that your card was stolen when in fact you're just trying to hide it from us. You've really thought this through. Well, wait, it's not that. You can tell us all about what it's like down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Edgeworth. Well, streamer trunk, 4 matching suitcase, a hat box, jewelry case. Grand total of about 85K per piece. Sheesh. Way too much stuff. I don't even need that much space for my luggage. What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Franziska, I know that you were the lead investigator on this case. However, hold it. Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, the basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate that cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I intend to do likewise. The end. Thanks for coming, everyone. Wasn't this a good game? Oh, that's said to be continued. Oh. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? It's so big! How big is this plane? This plane is a special model. It has both a super large cargo hold and ultra luxurious first class seating. So is this the real scene of the murder? There is certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir. This plane has a hangar in it? It does. How big is this plane for it to have a hangar? Well, let's get investigating, everyone. Oh, I just love pushing the buttons on elevators and crosswalk signals. Here, you should give it a try, sir. Go on, push it. What is Gumshoe doing? Why are you up there? The elevator is currently stopped on the first floor, Detective. It can't move. Oh yeah, guess nothing would happen if you pushed it now. Well, nothing would happen normally anyway without the special key card. Both the door to the attendance room and the elevator control panels require a key card, which makes it impossible for a passenger to come down here. Well, glad you can join me. All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says flammable, and this one, it says pharmaceuticals. This one says for exorcism use only. Just what kind of operation is this airline running? Have you noticed anything strange happening around here? No, sir. I haven't noticed a thing. I'm not sure he meant to sound so oblivious. You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And you then immediately began to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you were already here at this airport for something besides this murder. Yes, I was. I've been following a very large and involved governmental level international crime, but it's much too large for one person to take on alone, so it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Interesting. Back from giving cat snack and pill. Ah! Hopefully the cat was able to enjoy the pill or force it down somehow. Interpol is involved? It's a top secret operation, so I really can't tell you any more than I already have. Interpol, guys. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth. It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair. These must be all the leftover ones that they couldn't sell. The ones the company is planning to dispose of after this flight is over. This paint job is really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy. Oh, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it will bring you much happiness. You think so? Maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200! I think I'll pass. And Miss Tenera wonders why they don't sell. You'd think you need 2 jobs just to buy one. International governmental organizations are involved. She's up to something spicy. Oh yeah, you have no idea. They tolerate the pill. There you go. Tolerate the pill to get the snack. It definitely looks like one is missing. What's this brittle substance I'm stepping on? It's a bunch of glass fragments. Ha ha ha. Well, well, well. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So this suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we take a closer look. There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. Wait, a file? And there's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. Looks like a profile on Franziska. Why would Miss Hicks have a file on her? Very sus, guys, am I right? Glass, look up. Why, what's up? What's up? Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. This sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of his story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. Well, he's dead, I don't think he'll mind. He won't. If there's glass on the floor, I'd be thinking there's a light busted above. Maybe. But there was also glass on the above floors. I didn't know that this plane was capable of carrying such large pieces of cargo. This thing is as tall as This thing's as tall as 2 of you on top of each other, sir. It would probably take 20 of you to cover the entire surface of this monstrosity. What, really? Yeah, I guess that sounds about right. There really is no need to take that throwaway estimate seriously, Detective. I can't see anything else to investigate, so let's... Logic. Broken glass, glass shards. What do you think here? If this is wrong, it's your fault. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of the glass's lenses. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. Boom. Boom? Glasses don't use actual glass anymore, though. Yeah, but this was made in 2000 something or other, when they did use glass. Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Franziska? Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Franziska said that she had come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was, in actuality, Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Franziska has some explaining to do. You got some splaining to do. You do find it funny when you laugh at your own jokes. Should your voice break a little there? A little bit. What else am I supposed to do? Ho 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 ho. Truth behind Hicks. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense. What are you talking about? We found a profile detailing information about you and the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when you landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks. Is that correct? I should have known you'd figure it out, Miles, but it looks like they got to him first. So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent, then? Yes, Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. Oh. He went undercover to investigate this crime, and it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we now have pretty definite evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. Ow! Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason. Of that, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Franziska, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? No, unfortunately, I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see, but this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew, and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases and they entered the elevator, but while they were riding it up, the plane hit that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks's body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out and of his right, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. Yay! I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What? Really, sir? I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth, but the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero. And here we go again. If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold, but the point to keep in mind is that the key card that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of information, one of you. I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that. It's rebuttal now. Rebuttal. If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold.
Hold it!
That might be true, but then it could be anyone, including Miss Mealy or even the captain. Don't be a fool. A plane without a pilot in the cockpit is like a horse without a rider, crop in hand, much like Scruffy over there. I can't disagree with her on that. Detective Gumshoe does always need a guiding hand. Very well, and what about the other flight attendant, Miss Mealy? Huh, I thought you might ask about her. But the point to keep in mind is the key card that allows the elevator to come down here.
Hold it!
Hey, David! Thank you for the ice cream and party hats. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? How's life treating ya? It's highly unlikely that the key card was stolen from Miss Tenero. It's highly likely. Is that possibility the best you can come up with? And you call yourself a disciple of my father? Yeah. Yes, well, while I don't have any evidence, Be quiet. You're a disgrace. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda Tenero, you know. It's not just the key card that gives her away. Are you talking about the murder weapon, the Captain Ugo piggy bank? Yes. She is also the only one with the key to open that display case. You're far aside from, nature? Aside from nature? What does that mean? Tell me, my friend. Further, there is a matter of the key to the display case that held the murderous bank.
Hold it!
So that is a fake. Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep on insisting that it's a fake, then what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? Speechless, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. By nature being called by it. So, using the bathroom a lot? There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. What should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon? The crime scene. Examine the crime scene in more detail. Alright, it's not this apparently. I hadn't thought of that. Even now we're searching through them, but we haven't found anything that even closely resembles a murder weapon. Alright then. Suppose we should examine something else. What should we be examining further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon? How about let's save the game so I don't mess it up again. The piggy bank? Nope. I'm stupid, guys. I don't know. Trying to make it clean, but sound, but yes. I gotcha. I wish you luck on your nature goings. The body, apparently. Franziska, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions. Oh, was I? Yes, you don't even have the autopsy results yet. How can I not say that you made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see if the wound on Agent Hicks's head is consistent with the murder weapon? Scruffy? Yes, sir. Contact the medical examiner's office at once. Wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks's autopsy. Yeek! Yes, sir. Something from one serving of food. What did you eat? What kind of foods did you eat? Eatses. We got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. My finger points. What is it, detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said that they already know the one thing for sure. Report, now. The doc said that it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back? He was beaten over such a wide area? Well, I'd say maybe it's a sign the killer had a grudge against Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. Scruffy, what is had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean? Well, that's, What was the wound on the victim's head consistent? Was this wound of the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, detective? Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sir. You're completely useless. Youch. Yow, rather. Your brother made a type of Mississippi pot roast and ate a single serving of it for lunch, and it's literally biting you in the rear. Oh no. You ate it and you got butt sick, David. No, you remove yourself from my way. What is all that racket? My luggage, my cargo, they're mine, and I demand you return them to me. We're still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand and have a little patience. I suppose there is no choice. Finally, I think he gave... Hey, what are you... You have left me no choice but to use strong force. Arrgh! You won't get past me. This is... Wait, that's it. So that's what this whole thing has been about. Further, there is the matter of the key to the display case that held the murderous bank. After all, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. The doc said that it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. So, quick question, Captain Chips. How in trouble is that guy right now? For charging into a police officer? What did that? He'd be arrested? Okay. Well, Mr. LeBlanc, you are arrested. Sorry, brah. Okay. This is why we save, guys. This is why we save. Like, you think that would be the right answer, but nope. Cause of death. Weapon couldn't be found, maybe? Okay. Well, let's find the right answer, guys. Cause of death, piggy bank. Hey, there we go. The combo of ingredients is what keeps hitting you. The spicy level is a mild spice, while you're used to high strong spice. But something else must have gotten ya. Ow. Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there is extensive bruising over such a wide area. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to his middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. Ooh, what is it, guys? If we're looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out, but so far we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we all overlooked from the very beginning. It's a suitcase. Maybe. Maybe because normally it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Franziska. What? What do you want? I found it, Franziska. I found the real murder weapon. You did? He really jumped. We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check on him, sirs. There's that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. One of his art pieces? One of the art pieces? This coming from a prosecutor with a habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Anyway, if you really are a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence. You two aren't listening at all, are you? Come on then, show me this real murder weapon you speak of. That's a consideration. The news today, James Earl Jones passed. I heard about that. That's really, really sad. Voice of Mufasa and Darth Vader. That was crazy too, because I watched the final episode of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show last night. Yeah, James Earl Jones passed, guys. I don't know what he died from, but it was this morning, I think. 93 years old he was. But yeah, it just goes to show time keeps moving, you know? Everyone's getting older and people pass. I don't have any evidence to show you. Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show? His voice carries on. Though he gave Disney permission to AI him, basically. That's pretty cool. Fool. Yeah, he was 93 years old. He lived a long life. He was one of my earliest voices from my childhood, which is crazy. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show? Perhaps I should have phrased it as that which caused Agent Hicks's death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I have figured out what was the real cause of death. It's free falling. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground. He fell to his death? Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. Same for you, stars. Yeah, one of the first movies I saw was Lion King. So, hearing Mufasa and all that. Born 1931. Whew. That's a long time ago, guys. The victim had extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back, and the only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death. But the murder happened inside this plane. I know. Are you claiming that there is some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time. You can't mean... Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs of this very cargo hold. What? Then, we're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs. Oh no. He's dead. Hey you, tell me you aren't dead, pal. Quiet, why are you screaming? He's alive. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hicks's fell over the railing to his death. That man is living proof of that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances. The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean? Watched an old movie this morning that you did not know existed. The movie is canon to the Muppets world with Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, etc. What's that? What's that movie? Suppose that large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? He would have been a Borginian pancake for sure, sir. I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing, but the reality is that the cargo box is there, so there's no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios. It may be there now, but there is no proof that it was always there. As if there could have been a window of time when that giant box was not there. Ah, but there was. I suspect a save is in order. What? What can I use to show her that it's possible the box was not always where it is now? It's the refueling.
Take that!
I love the evil smirk this man gets. The Edgeworth. He does have an I told you so smirk to him. Or I'm gonna get you smirk. You refueled in the Republic of Zhengfa? Yes, this flight has a short layover in Zhengfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at the time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Ah, it's labeled Zhengfa Express. Correct, meaning it was loaded onto the plane in Zhengfa. Ho ho. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time? It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhengfa leg of the flight, making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. Ah, but your theory is still very far-fetched. Then allow me a chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. My first order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. Alright. Let's examine the stuff. This is a rather large piece of cargo. There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see. Aleph Red statue. Never heard of it. Nor I, but all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. Let's get investigating, sir. Vroom. Vroom. Look here, do not go about touching my possessions without my permission. Heck, don't rush up on me like that, pal. So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him. Alright, what's your deal, mister? I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc. Of course it is mine. I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This Aleph Red statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much, much more. Mr. LeBlanc's reasoning for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. 10 million cents? I suggest you stop trying to calculate how much packets of noodles that makes, detective. Darn, how did you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year. Though I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun, I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is that in euros or in dollars? Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there is a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case. Approved comment. Oh. Yeah, I don't wanna approve that one. Just cause it has a word that should not be allowed. Try and rephrase that comment, David, but without the bad words, if that's okay. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer. It is a very valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching. No touchy. I'm just gonna save one more time. Logic. Smuggling. Valuable piece of art. If Mr. LeBlanc had something to do with the smuggling ring, then it's possible that this fake statue was brought on board in Zhengfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. Yo, what's the deal, bro? About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc, I wonder if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is fake? I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring. Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. It's called Meet the Feebles. The star is Heidi Hippo. She's a very caring woman, but she gets wronged a lot, and it shows the dark side of the Muppets. As the Muppets can make hybrid children, as an elephant chicken hybrid child was seen. Oh dear. Is that an appropriate show for kids? Or for anyone? Do you mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. I can't read this. What does it say? It says as plain as day, the cargo was put onto the plane in Europe. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. The statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in the certificate. No, that's... Which means that there never was a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Is this even a real thing? Is this real, David? I respectfully disagree. We cannot discount the theory until I see the statue for myself. And you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see that I'm right. This. I know I've seen this somewhere before. This is the Aleph Red. It gives off such a feeling of art. I can practically smell it. The statue has a high amount of historic value. After it was unveiled at the museum in Europe, the direction for the movie was the very first movie for Peter Jackson, who eventually went on to do the movies of Lord of the Rings. Really? That's strange. I'll have to investigate this a bit later, David. I brought it to this country to exhibit it. I believe a closer look is warranted here. So this is the infamous Aleph Red statue. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something? There's something wrong with this picture. You should examine it in more detail. Look, great big eyes you have. Are these eyes made of some sort of gem? That's a real nice shade of orange. For a second, couldn't even tell they were jewels. Oh, but they kind of remind me of the eyes of this stray cat that lives near my house. Are the eyes supposed to be this color? Is it possible the statue is a fake? I don't know. Let's deduce. Here's the Aleph Red. Something about this statue looks different, guys. Do you see the difference? These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. I don't think you see what I'm talking about. No, I do, but it's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. Remember standing out in the field, spinning with my arms out until I fell ill. I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in this photo? Huh? Ah, sir, they're red. You're thinking it might be a forgery? Maybe a forgery. Peter Jackson himself said the movie was canon to the Muppets. Interesting. I'll check it out when I'm done, David, just to see what kind of show this is. As I thought, the statue was a fake. Mr. LeBlanc? What do you want? Do you not know how I am a busy man? I allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The Aleph Red? I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not? It is the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. Better grab a chair, sir. Sounds like this is going to be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but... What is that? Sympathy? For what? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. That large fellow there has a very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in this photo. Why the sudden yelling? Now then. Oh! Is this a photo of the statue on display in the museum in Europe? Nwah! Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake. A fake? I believe that even further examination will be required, now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in Zhengfa, and I will present it to you, the evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. It's the thing here. What's this? The statue looks like it's stepping all over its neighbor's cloth cover. It kind of resembles its owner's attitude in a sense. Oh, you, what did you say just now? Further, my clothing, Sam, is not being stepped on by anyone. It's too expensive for me to allow that to happen. Please forgive the trespasses of my subordinate. What should I forgive if the dress passes? Unless it is an expensive dress, you keep it. I am canon to stream. You know it. I am the most canon to streaming. I am streaming. Alright. Whoops. So what would prove that this is the thing? Proof the statue is loaded on board in Europe. If in Europe, why is it on the Zhengfa? Huh? He is the Senate. I am. Eureka! I'm not entirely confident that there is a contradiction here. What do you think, detective? Well, I think it's really suspicious looking, sir. A well-trained gut tells me so. I see. Okay. When did I last save, guys? This might be a guide thing. This might be a... It has to be pixel perfect. It has to be this. Not a Topsy. Suitcase, no. Testimony. Cargo, maybe this. Aha. There is clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of a cargo cover getting stuck under another piece of cargo. Ah, that's not possible. But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought aboard Zhengfa, there is no way that any part of it should wind up there under something from Europe. which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Zhengfa. But then what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There is only one reason why, to secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight. So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that in mid-flight. He could have just as easily inspected all of the cargo after the plane landed. That may be true, however you have it backwards, Franziska. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Alright. I'm gonna get a drink real quick. Thirsty! Just like what the plane did, I am refueled. Now let's go. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. It would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge, which means there is someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates. Well, who could it be? Yeah! I guess the victim knew the real version of this was gonna get nabbed, huh? Yes, while this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold, a rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zhengfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhengfa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death. Officer, move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. Now! Miss Von Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. Go on. After moving the Alfred statue out of the way, we tested the area under it with luminol, and there was a reaction. I see. There was a reaction to luminol, an indication that there was blood in that spot. Can we stop looking at it now, sirs? It would seem that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose it would appear that way. This culprit cleaned the blood up well. And how do you think the killer did that? How did the killer clean up all the blood? This maybe?
Take that!
The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Zhengfa. Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover. So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Zhengfa? There is no other conceivably timeline for the events of the murder, but if that is true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murder occurred before we landed in Zhengfa, then this becomes highly suspect. Recall Miss Mealy's testimony about Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Zhengfa. I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know. She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but that totally contradicts the facts, sir. But why would she lie about something like that? I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Mealy herself. Ho 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 ho. Ho 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 ho, everyone. Miss Mealy. Miss Mealy. Huh? Do you recall what you said earlier about when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Zhengfa? Dun dun dun. Is it her, guys? Is Miss Mealy the one? Huh? You said that Mr. Hicks was sitting in his seat at that time. However, that is simply not possible, because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down in Zhengfa. Oh? Miss Cammy Mealy. Maybe I didn't see what I thought I did? No one could make a mistake so large, Miss Mealy. But I make that mistake, but I make that kind of boo-boo all the time. Nah. This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Very well, Miss Mealy. If you please, tell me about your alibi during the time span. From just before we were to land at 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. when the body was found. Are you telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth? She's a better fitting jacket. Yeah. And she's sleeping on the job, too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. From 3 to 4, I was, in the flight attendant's room, all by my lonesome self. Yeah. And from 5 to 6, I was, in the flight attendant's room, all by my lonesome self. Cousin it impersonating? The amount of cleavage on that uniform do be impressive. Yeah, that's something, alright. How was a man supposed to react to a testimony like that? Miss Mealy, wake up! She fell asleep again. Looks like the one way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her. I'm gonna say ignore the yeahs. From 3 to 4, I was in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self.
Hold it!
If I remember correctly, food was being served in first class in the lounge between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m. Yeah, but that kind of stuff's run by Miss Rhoda. Then what were you doing in the attendant's room at the time? Eating and then having a most delicious dream. You mean you were neglecting your duties? No way. Sleeping's part of our job too, you know. Oh, yeah. And from 5 to 6 I was in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self.
Hold it!
So you were alone the entire time, were you? Yeah, no one else even popped their head in to say hi. Oh, well I think a contradiction just popped in to say hi. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Should I raise a save? Miss Mealy, there is a clear contradiction embedded in your testimony. Huh? What are you talking about? It's not possible that you were alone in the attendance room the whole time from 5 to 6 a.m. This. This? I wonder if you would be so kind as to take a look at this receipt, Miss Mealy. You raise me a save. I raised you a save. Huh? A receipt? For what? It's for the suitcase Miss Tenero bought. Now if I may direct your attention to the timestamp, as you can see it clearly says 5:40 a.m., Miss Tenero. Yes. Huh? Why is the killer here? I thought you'd have her locked up by now. I request that she be present as a witness so that we may straighten out your complex lie. Now then, Mr. Nero, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you took a trip from first class down to the first floor in-flight shop, correct? Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase, after which I went straight to the attendant's room to drop it off. And did you see Miss Mealy there at the time? No. So, Miss Mealy, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? Miss Cammy Mealy, huh? The bathroom? I'll be the one to ask the questions here. Yeah, maybe that's it. Probably just Mr. Nature calls, you know? Do you take me for a fool? That's a little too convenient to be true. But it's the truth. Cross my heart. I don't have enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage. You don't believe me, do you? But please, won't you give me a chance and hear me out? Look, now you're suspecting me because I'm the one of the crew. But you think that maybe you should also suspect Miss Rhoda, too? She's the one in charge of the elevator key card in the shop, you know? Yes, me, that makes her super suspicious. Please lift Miss Tenero out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now. I don't get it. Why are you covering for Miss Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you've got your eye on Miss Rhoda. Of course I'm keeping an eye on her. I can't very well let her escape, can I? Never mind, but you want to know something? Miss Rhoda actually kinda let... I have absolutely no interest in people who can't appreciate my sense of design. Now's not the time for this sort of talk. Look, I know you're suspecting me because I'm one of the crew.
Hold it!
No, it's not the only reason I have for suspecting you. Your statements regarding Mr. Hicks had also turned out to be a bunch of lies. Ah, but I say I wasn't an attendant. You wouldn't suspect me then, would you? Yes, I suppose that's true enough. But you think that maybe you should also suspect Miss Rhoda too?
Hold it!
She is already being detained for further questioning, or have you already forgotten? Oh, yeah, I guess I just forgot. Cammy, don't tell me you suspect me too. Sorry, can't help it. I mean, other than you, there's no one else who could have done it. I can't believe you would think that. I mean, me, a killer? Miss Mealy, what did you mean just now by no one else who could have done it? She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard in the shop, you know?
Hold it!
And what are you in charge of, Miss Mealy? I take care of the attendance room. That doesn't count. But I spend so much time in there, it might as well be my responsibility. Mr. Edgeworth, Cammy is very talented in languages, though she assists passengers who may not speak English, especially those who speak Borginian. She is the only one on this flight who is fluent. Oh, you mean that kind of what am I in charge of? Why didn't you say so in the first place? What else could I have meant? Yeah, so I'm really good at Borginian. She's fluent in Borginian, then I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Borginian. Yeah, I take care of anything that has to do with Borginian. Very interesting. If you ask me, that makes her super suspicious. I'm in charge of the attendance room and some Borginian stuff. Maybe I have an answer, guys, to this? Maybe? Document in Borginian.
Objection!
So you are the only one in this flight crew that speaks Borginian. Is that correct? Oh, yeah, I guess so. I studied abroad in Borginia for a while. If that is the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? Your cat is fluent in purr. Aww. I bet your kitty's cute still. Stars, the cutest. This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose: to lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue was loaded in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Borginian is you, Miss Mealy. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Aleph Red could not have occurred. Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. It is exactly as you say. Are you confessing to having participated in the smuggling? No, far from it. It's true that I was the only one signed off on that document, but you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. There is no direct correlation, after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper. Really, all you did was sign it. I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly. So sorry about that. It seems that she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight. Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. A line that good old Edgeworth would definitely say. Suppose, and this is just a supposition, even if I was involved in the smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that.
Objection!
If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have a strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding the smuggling ring, and just when he was about to close in, he's killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever start to think that maybe Rhoda is the smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes. So perhaps there is some element of setup at play in this case? What are you talking about? Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you. I mean the killer. First it was myself, and now it's Miss Tenero who is under the microscope. Seems to me that our killer is going to great lengths to pin this crime on anybody they can. You have no proof that Rhoda is being set up or that she isn't. Actually, I believe she was indeed the intended target from the very beginning. I believe that the plan was to push all of the blame for the crime onto her, and the evidence will prove my suspicions. This proves that the killer was out to frame Miss Tenero from the very beginning. I don't know, to be honest. Oh, I wish I could do it, guys, or I wish I could go back. Details. Well, I can't save, sadly. Hide details, history. Oh, and I can't save on this screen either. Darn it, guys, be right back. I do have the guide open, so don't worry. Oh, cell phone, you take forever to load everything, don't you? Ba, 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 ba. Alright, here we go. Suitcase receipt. Press the third statement. Aleph Red certificate. Okay. It is iFly suitcase, apparently. Or the, Go You suitcase.
Take that!
The killer could have farted on the suitcase. Okay, I'm back in my chat room. It was Angel Love? Oh my gosh. Are you hearing this, Mafia babe? It was Angel Love again. The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they chose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through the trouble to do so? The only way all of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Tenero for the murder. Miss Tenero buys a suitcase on every flight she works without fail. The killer farted on the suitcase. Yep. Glad you like that. Without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan. There wasn't enough time to put the body back into the suitcase. Ergo, they made do with whoever there was at hand adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree? Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway? That is because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. What special circumstances did the need for the killer to frame someone? Gosh darn it. Back to the guide we go. It is where the murder took place, apparently. The special circumstances is simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight. No matter which country, the customs is quite strict in this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chances that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there will be no choice but to frame either Miss Tenero or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements is not Miss Tenero or myself, but you, Miss Cammy Mealy. Only you and you alone could be the killer. And? Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence. She's going with her bubbles. Yeah. I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. And isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that I still can't quite fit into the big picture? Yeah. The missing shell phone.
Take that!
I don't have any actual evidence. I thought not. But, unless you do have definitive evidence at least, which I always do, apparently, all the time. The prosecutor's badge? Oh, my badge is the evidence, of course. But that's because it went missing, and still is. Missing? What do you mean by that? In the complex puzzle that is this case, there was one piece that I kept getting stuck on, and that is the victim's cell phone. Franziska, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks's cell phone, or at least that's what you told me. That's right, but Agent Hicks's cell phone cannot be found at the crime scene. You mean the killer took the phone with them? Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer. Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well? We won't know that until we try a little experiment, will we? Franziska, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you not? Of course I do. Agent X's phone. It's ringing from somewhere, sir. I hear it, Detective. Now where is it coming from? The tarp. The suitcase? Sounds like the phone is up in the flight attendant's room. Better hurry to the flight attendant's room, sir. The ringing's coming from somewhere in here, sir. Leave no stone unturned, Detective Gumshoe. We must find it. The garbage? It doesn't seem to be over here. Let's look somewhere else, sir. I wonder if it might be inside this suitcase. I don't hear any sounds coming from inside, sir. Suppose the culprit would have been so dumb as to try the same trick twice. The ringing's coming from in here, sir. What? No, it can't be. This has got to be the victim's cell phone. Just whose locker is this, sir? It's Miss Tenero's. What? Uh-oh. So, Mr. Edgeworth, how did it go? Where did you find the phone? I found it in the flight attendant's room, in Miss Tenero's locker. What? But... Rhoda Tenero. I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Miss Von Karma, was it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenero right away. Wait, I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the keycard. When the killer went to steal the keycard, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time. This is related to the keycard, all right, in the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. Nah. The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. That is one bird we cannot ignore. What should I do? Franziska's right. I can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Alright then, why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? It must have something very incriminating on or in it.
Hold it!
What now, Miles Edgeworth? It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone. What? Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. Need to examine this phone in more detail. Okay. This must be the switch that opens the phone. Crack. The LCD is broken. The two of them are both in on it? That'd be honestly as interesting twist. There being two different killers working in tandem. That would be interesting. But we'll see. The LCD is broken. Without a screen, you can't even place a call with this. The letters. When did they start putting keyboards like these into cell phones? Hey, this is one of those computer cell phones that they started selling recently. Computer cell phones? Yeah, it's got a computer in it, and it's a cell phone. Neat, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? All you need is a phone and is the phone part, nothing more. I'm guessing yours can't even send out an email. Talk about inconvenient. Do you have a problem with that, with what I do? Do you have a problem with what I do, and do you not care for, Detective? No, sir. As I say, simple is best. The back of the phone, maybe. With the picture. Ah, it's the camera's lens. Come to think of it, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of a smuggling? Franziska, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about this kind of basic stuff, sir. This looks like a very similar model to my own, and mine can take photos just fine. Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular, pictures as evidence for a smuggling case? If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos in here for our killer smuggler. But the phone's all busted up, sir. Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone. Yerk, I'll find a way, don't you worry about that. May I go back to sleep now? The LCD screens on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. What? What do you mean by that, Franziska? It looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. This phone still rang when I called it, meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. It's possible that the photos are still inside there, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone. Franziska, your phone if you please. Very well. It's transferring. Alright, displaying it now. This is. Agent Hicks was most certainly trying to obtain some evidence for a smuggling case. Hey, the A-lift shed nowhere in this pic, sir. But this has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right? Ouch, she's right. There's not much we can find out from this about Agent Hicks's killer, sir. Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this photo that we can use? The boxes. What's all this? Oh, they are a cargo ship from Borginia to Zangfa. So the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off in Zangfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there is no English written on them anywhere. One cluster of boxes is written in Borginian. It says, it is cloth in English. Cloth? Could it be? Is this where the killer... What for is this scary face? Miss Mealy. Yes, it appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence after all. A striking piece that will point out who his killer is. Ha! Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth. The Burgundian cargo and the piece of evidence will be pointed straight to the killer. The cloth, maybe? Or the Alfred certificate? Or the suitcase? Or the cloth?
Take that!
And what is that supposed to prove? The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilt. But there was only one thing that bothered me this whole time. Where did it come from? And now I have finally found my answer to this very photo. In this photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Zangfa had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from to clean up the blood with. That's right. The killer was someone who could read and understand Borginian. And the only crew member that fits that description is you, Miss Cammy Mealy. That's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Borginian. Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature. What? There was no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Borginian, well then. Logically, the killer would have opened this box first. Bed sheets.
Take that!
Hey, it says bed sheets in English right on the box, sir. Precisely, and bed sheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say? So what are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bed sheets would have been what I would have spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Borginian cloth. Do you have an explanation for that? The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold, so they were afraid to leave signs at the box for the sheets that had been opened. However, the Borginian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color. Because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the regular Republic of Zhengfa? That's right, that is why the Borginian cloth was used. And the only Borginian reader on board who could make such a calculated decision is you, Cammy Mealy, you and you alone. It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the Zhengfa authorities in time. We may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer within those boxes. Grrr. So what do you say, Miss Mealy? Why not confess to your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation in Zhengfa? Ooh, 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 ooh! No! Yay! He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble. I. Woo! Damn. I know, right? Sorry, not two killers this time, but we got her. Oh, on the list of kill this man, where would Miss Mealy be on the kill this man list? We finished making all the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir. Very good, detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? They're taking her down to the precinct now. Hopefully we can get more out of her there. Whenever we try to approach the topic, she just started foaming in the mouth. Up there with your average smuggling folks. Yeah, proved it wasn't Angel Love this time. Not Angel Love this time, for sure. Yes, smugglers are, they're pretty up there. It was scary, sir. She probably wasn't prepared to commit a murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. Looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. Mr. Edgeworth, I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much. It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation. But surely if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Instead, I can continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant. I hope that, well, please accept this as a token of my appreciation. That's... I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want it. No, I mean, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer. Oh, thank you. I'm sure it will serve you well. And remember, we here at Go You Airlines are always ready to serve Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Now I must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue no matter where you go. Can't believe we wound up investigating the whole day, sir, but boy was it fun. Speak for yourself, my day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. By the way, where's Franziska? Oh, she's filling out some custom paperwork for her departure. Departure? Yeah, Miss Von Karma's always really busy, sir. She's been flying from one country to chase down some leads regarding her case. Detective, can you cancel the car I had you reserve earlier? You got it, sir. Always ready to serve Mr. Edgeworth, or always ready to serve Mr. Edgeworth. Very true, stars. Franziska. I thought I told you when you first landed, I have no time for idle chatter. I have no intention of wasting your time. However, it has been a while since we last met. I also have no time for such familiar reminiscences. Just who do you think I am? You are Franziska von Karma, a very proud prosecutor, deserving of much respect. Until only a little while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. A dancing period, living her life on the name and fame her invincible father built. True, your father, Manfred von Karma, didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I wouldn't say he was invincible. What are you talking about? The group I'm on the trail of is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time is only one sliver of the big picture. Sounds like a dangerous assignment. You really don't have to worry, I can take care of myself. Yes, I suppose you can. Plus, there is another agent on this case with me. Oh, another agent? He's a star among Interpol agents and has the highest successful arrest rate. Who knows? You may even run into him one day. I was simply caught up in this one case. I hardly see why we would cross paths. I suppose. But I doubt he would say the same. I'm not following you. You'll understand soon enough. The fight has only just begun, Miles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough, and when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back. In full. And just like that, she's gone, huh, sir? Thank goodness. I can finally rest easy knowing I won't have to watch out for her whip. Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation. Oh, it was nothing, sir. I was just happy to be able to work with you again. Oh, I think I'm gonna celebrate by adding a little extra salt to my instant noodles tonight. Just how much did you cut his salary by, Franziska? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office. Sure thing, sir. I'll even fly down the road in the patrol car if you want. Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first. Thus, I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Franziska von Karma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play. And the players on the other side of this war, they would begin to make themselves known through the next incident. Edgeworth speaking. Finally. I called who knows how many times earlier, but I couldn't get through. And you are? Have you forgotten my voice, Miles, my boy? Mr. Amano? Ernest Amano, correct? So you remember me. So you do remember me. I know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son, he's been kidnapped. And that's the end of Case 2, everyone. What'd you think of that case, huh? Yay! Turnabout Airlines! Done. Let us now begin Case 3. The Kidnapped Turnabout. Should be fun. That's the end of the case. Moral of the story, no farting on your suitcases. Can't do that, bro. No farting. It's time. Don't worry, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be following your every movement with my binoculars. Good to hear. Now to make sure you don't lose sight of me, I'm counting on you for backup. You can count on me, sir. Have to go. The kidnapper is supposed to contact me soon. Who would have thought that upon my return, I'd be thrust into a kidnapping case? And that I would be the one who would have to make the ransom drop-off. Let's see. I checked that the money is all there, safe inside the suitcase. Now all I have to do is await further instructions from the kidnapper, which I'm expected to be transferring to my cell phone. I wonder who else is around. This is the meeting's place, after all. Gatewater. Oh dear. Welcome to Gatewater Land. Oh, thank you. And a big hello to you. I'm Proto Badger. Nice to meet you. Excuse me, but were you perhaps thinking of taking a picture of me? A picture? Of you? Sorry, but I'm not interested. Aw, that's too bad. Well, have a good day. Hello? Who are you? You're not Ernest Amano? It sounds like the kidnapper is using some sort of voice alteration device. I'm his representative, Miles Edgeworth. Are you a cop? No, I'm a prosecutor. I know what you're wondering, and yes, I have brought the ransom money with me. I see. In that case, bring the money with you to the stadium. So this person intends to see if I'm being followed, huh? Oh, you're leaving, Mafia? I'll see you later. Good night! Please, Detective Gumshoe, I really need you to come through for me this one time. Remember the Badgers, guys? Remember the Badgers all that much? Huh. That symbol looks familiar there. Edgeworth speaking. Next, come to the haunted house. And just how long do you intend to have me wander around for? That's for me to decide. You don't have much of a choice here, my friend. I suppose not. I've arrived. Go inside. Oh dear. Oh god. Not the haunted house. Oh, I don't like that. What a dismal place. That's it. Go through those doors. Am I being watched from somewhere? Leave the money and go now. Yeah. I was hoping for an exchange, but maybe I should do as they say for now and not push it. I couldn't catch even a glimpse of the kidnapper. Perhaps I should keep an eye on this haunted house until police backup arrives. Huh. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It was a trap. What is this? A horror game? What are we on? Halloween. A sword. There was a sword in this game, Foursquare. How you doing? How's life treating ya? That guy. Betrayed. No, can't be. Then the deal. Who is that? And what are they talking about? Split police. Alright. In front of meet up. I can't move my body. I fear I may faint again. Epic. Done watching football. Who won? Who was the big winner? Where am I? How long was I out? It wasn't raining like it is now when I made the drop-off. This was supposed to be a simple affair. So why have I been taken hostage as well? I can only assume Detective Gumshoe lost sight of me at some point. The Jets won. Ooh, nice. Kind of a good game, I don't know. Not the Jets? Oh, not the Jets, my bad. The only reason I agreed to this to be the drop-off man was because of that phone call. It was from Mr. Ernest Amano, the director of the powerful Zaibatsu, the Amano Group. But aside from that, I also owe him a great debt of gratitude. His only son, Lance, has been kidnapped. I know that Lance is already in his 20s, but I guess some things you'd never grow out of. I can't sit around waiting for someone to come help me. I must escape somehow. No! Was it you making that funny sound? Who's there? And how dare you laugh at a gentleman's plight? Who are you? Are you one of the kidnappers? A kidnapper? Me? No way. I'm not into such petty crimes. Nope, I'm after something much, much bigger. Arg, I must be worn out from today's ordeal. Focus, Miles. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. Sorry about that. Ahem. Even in the depths of night, when no other bird dares to take flight, one alone soars to shine the light of righteousness on the world's blight. And that one is me, for I am the great thief, Yatagarasu. Great thief? And did she really just claim to be the Yatagarasu? Oh, but my real name is Kay Faraday. You can call me Kay. Kay? Cool, good. Glad that's settled. Not quite. I have a mountain of questions for you. But first, if you would be so kind as to remove these ropes. I wonder, should I remove them? I was actually having a lot of fun watching you make those silly faces. Hey, there's no need to get all mad and icy glary on me, you know? This rope goes through here, and there you go. What a relief. I owe you my thanks. It's okay. You can pay me back in full later. Give me a second, guys. Now then, what question should I start with? Unfortunately, I can already tell nothing is going to be easy with this cheeky girl. Well, guys, if anyone's wondering who the Maya Fey is in this game, here she is. There she is! You call yourself a great thief, yet are you really a thief at all? You doubt me? I get it. You think that a young lady like me cannot possibly be such a big-time thief, right? That's not the part I have a tough time believing. I am the real genuine Yatagarasu, you know. Yep, I'm a pure-blooded great thief. It's a little something I inherited from my predecessor. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I arrested you then, right? What? Of course I'd mind. I haven't stolen anything yet. Seriously, I don't know how you can say such a horrible thing to your savior. That's true. Technically, she hasn't stolen anything in front of me. Yet. When you say you're the Yatagarasu, do you mean you are the Yatagarasu? Yep. And the most righteous of the righteous, legendary great thief. But I inherited the title only recently, so I haven't had a chance to steal anything yet as the second Yatagarasu. I was not aware that thieves could pass down their titles like that. But don't worry, I've got some big plans in the works. Big plans, huh? They wouldn't happen to lead to a big arrest, would they? I knew it. There's just no reasoning with the prosecutor. I'm not the problem here. I'll have you know that the Yatagarasu has no interest in stealing petty trinkets. There's only one thing and one thing I want to steal. Only one thing, and what would that be? But that's going to have to wait until we find our way out of here. Well, at least there is one thing we agree on. I'm sure I'll have plenty of time later to learn more about you. So you never told me what your name is, Mr. Prosecutor. I guess not. I'm Miles Edgeworth. Aha, now I remember. How can you remember something I just told you? But she sure is cheery. Alright then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's get out of here. It would seem that we are locked in from the other side. What? No way, I don't hear you. La la la. Okay, you do remember where you came in from, right? Now they're both trapped. It looks like that might be our only way out of this room. Whoops, slight miscalculation. That's a good height to make an entrance from, but I can't jump that high to make an exit. I suppose we have no choice but to look around and see if we can't find another way out. What do you think of this case so far, guys? And this new girl here. Huh? Isn't this my phone? Looks like it made it through the ordeal intact. If only there were a way for us to contact someone on the outside. Ah, but we do have a way. Right here. Ah, there was a cell phone here this whole time? If I'm right, Detective Gumshoe should have contacted the precinct for backup by now. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay? I was so worried, sir. I'm fine. I was knocked unconscious for a spell by the kidnapper, that's all. I'm sorry, sir. I'm such a failure. If only I hadn't lost sight of you. Detective, we don't have time for this. Have the police set up a perimeter right now. I have to worry about that, sir. I already got the boys working on that. But in doing that, I sorta... What's wrong, Detective? Sorry to butt in, but I'm afraid you're going to have to make do with me. Who is this? Shilong Lang of Interpol. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard a great deal about you. So why exactly is an Interpol agent like yourself involved in a domestic kidnapping case? Don't sweat the details. A crime's a crime whether it's on a local or a global scale. Besides, you're the one who's in a world of trouble. And why would you say that? Lang Zi says, the pack that runs together stays together. You catch my drift? You caused quite a ruckus by running blindly into a situation and then getting caught. Tch. You should have contacted the police from the very beginning. I'm sorry that this happened because of a lapse in judgment. However, I humbly request that you please help me out of here post-haste. Sorry, no can do. What? We're hunting the kidnapper now. I haven't got any hands to spare. As I said, my pack moves as one. You're the one who wanted to go it alone, so good luck to you, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh, and once we do catch the kidnapper, rest assured we'll come find you. Eventually. You. What's wrong? Did you get cut off? No, my phone ran out of power. No way! Doesn't matter anyway. We should try to get out of here through our own means. Yeah, I have a name to live up to after all. If we put our heads together, we're sure to find a way out. Well, we have a couple of things. Maybe we can use this paint to help us escape. And what exactly do you have in mind? Well, we could paint help in really giant letters. And who, pray tell, would see these giant letters? We're inside a building. Okay, then how about we light the paint on fire and send out colored smoke signals? Anyone who saw it would think of some crazy arsonist was about and call the cops. Actually that might not be great for me, seeing as I'm a thief and all. Let's try to find something other than this paint to use, shall we? Man, why did they have to put the window so high up anyway? How was the thief supposed to make her daring escape? I suppose we could make our way out if we were able to climb to the top of those lockers. Haha, that's pretty clever. You'd make a good thief yet, Mr. Edgeworth. Please don't ever place my name and the word thief in the same sentence again. Let's see, I wonder if I can jump and grab the top of the locker here. Sheesh. Man, why do they have to make such ginormous lockers anyway? Even if we wanted to use these lockers, we need some sort of foothold. Well... Hey, there's something inside the bottom right box. Oh, I think it's the Pink Badger costume. Pink Badger? You don't keep up with what's going on in the world, do you? In that case, you'd better study up on the whole Badger clan with this. What is this thing? Think of it as a Bible of all the things you'll ever need to know about the clan. Whatever, suppose I can keep it as a reference guide or something. Better check this real quick. So, Proto-Badger, the very first Badger. Bad Badger, a vile criminal with a gun. Blue Badger, an ally of justice who keeps the peace. And Pink Badger, note her unique pink bow. Okay. I suppose this is where they all keep the costumes? It certainly looks that way. It's like the Badger family's home. There are 8 boxes and but 7 of them are nearby, which means that 7 of the costumes are in use right now. But aren't these Badgers the mascots of the police force? Well, I heard that the police had a hand in sponsoring this theme park, probably because the Gatewater group owes the police from all the cases they solved. Remember the Gatewater Hotel guys from the second case in the first game and the 4th case in the second game? They've expanded. Oh, have they expanded. They have all the power of the state and they used it to make a theme park? It's not just any theme park. They have a handcuff-shaped double-looping roller coaster. That's quite enough. I'm feeling woozy from just the thought of such a thing. That was a strange case, the first one. It was. The Mia murder case. How about this key? And what have we here? Ah! Why do I feel a laser-like stare aimed right at me? Did you want to take a look? Well, don't mind if I do. Oh, I see. Yes, this is definitely a key. I'm sure it's a key to something. The something is what is relevant to my interest. Well, let's examine, the boxes here. Look, it's the Blue Badger. I suppose even this thing can be popular with women. My nemesis. Well, what in the... Why is she beating it up? He's got the word badge right in his name. That's nothing but bad news for someone like me. And to think he's out there wandering around in this park. I better be careful or he's gonna arrest me by the power of his name alone. As I somehow doubt that the Blue Badger has the power to arrest anyone. So this is the Blue Badger's rival, the Bad Badger, huh? Do you feel some sort of reverence toward this Badger, Kay? Ha! I can't believe you would be so stereotypical when it comes to thieves. Surely you must also think that there are much cooler and cuter ones out there, right? That's it. I've decided that thieves and thievery need an image makeover. Good luck with that one. This is the Blue Badger that I met at the main gate. Excuse me, but its name is Proto Badger, not Blue Badger. He's based off the very first design created by the local police chief. You know, when you compare the two, the Blue Badger looks a bit cuter. I suppose as he continued to redesign him, the chief managed to make him cuter and cuter. Even humanity has come a long way when you think about how much we've evolved. Are we comparing the Blue Badger to humans now? Sure. Suppose this is the Pink Badger? But since it has the same design, it doesn't seem forced to call this one a female. You think so? I mean, just look at how long her eyelashes are. That's the only difference. And the fact that she's pink. Yes, and her lips are red. See? Lipstick. What? She has nothing to say about the giant pink ribbon, or is that too obvious? And I guess that is that. This is the beam I was tied to. What's up? I was wondering if perhaps we could make it over to and out of the window if we climb this. Good thinking, and if it's climbing action you need, just leave it to me. Thanks, this little hook looks like it might make for a good foothold. Up you go, Kay, and good luck. Count on it. The great thief Yeta Garasu spreads her mighty wings and takes to the skies. Here I go! As I thought, this beam was definitely not made for climbing. What do you mean, as I thought? I'm not your guinea pig, you know. What is this? Looks like the Bad Badger, and it's looking as bad as ever. Looks like a costume head to me. I guess the Bad Badger's costume is, at the very least, a two-piece, huh? The real question is, why is only the head sitting out here on the floor? Very strange. They're holding a Blue Badger photo rally. You didn't know? Plus, it's not just the Blue Badger, it's his whole family too. Take a picture of every member of the Badger family and receive a prize. There's only one of each of the 4 family members wandering throughout the park. Best of luck. Wonder if Disney does anything like that. Well, there's a costume head sitting over there. Wanna start with a picture of that? You can't do that. That's cheating. There's only one of each badger in the park, so you have to work for it. Speaking of badgers, there was one sitting against the wall in the haunted house. Seriously? Somehow I don't think that one counts, Mr. Edgeworth. You have to take pictures of the costume ones walking around the park. So those are the rules of this game. How quaint. Alright. Hello. Do you know where the person who kidnapped me went? Well, after they locked you up in here, it sounded like they went into the next room and started talking to someone. I feel like I heard something as well, but it's all a haze in my mind. However, I do recall that the kidnapper was talking with someone. It was just a guess before, but I guess I really am dealing with 2 kidnappers here. After that, they left. It almost seemed as if they were done with you. I suppose that is the case, as my kidnapping seems like an afterthought to the 1 million. Well, if they went into the next room, let's see what we can find out through the slot. Okay. Oh, we can peer into the room the kidnappers were in from there. Won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. Is this what I think it is? Looks like the kidnappers had an escape tunnel prepared just in case. That's awesome! They're like a bunch of great thieves themselves! No, they're not, because I highly doubt they made the tunnel themselves. The floor panel was removed and propped up against the beam in a very specific way. I think this building was originally built with a basement or underground area. There's a beam in the next room identical to the one in this room. There was even a hook on it to hold a propped-up floor panel in place. Which reminds me, did you find something useful, Mr. Edgeworth? Perhaps I may have found a very handy hint to how we'll get out of here. You think, guys? There's a door on the opposite side of that appears to be the same as ours, this one, which would mean that I can probably assume that these two rooms are very similar in structure. I believe I may have found our ticket out. I bet it's under the tarp, everyone. Do you think it's under the tarp? But in order to do the tarp, we must connect some logic. Lockers. Tiny key. Tiny key. Maybe these two. This hook on the hook on this beam. Now, I've already tried and there's no way I can jump from this hook to the window. Come on, even you have to admit when something's just not possible. Ha, I wasn't about to suggest that again. Rather, that it's here for a different purpose. Really? Like what? As you saw in the adjacent room, it's clearly for keeping a floor panel propped up, which means that there should be a panel in this room that we can open as well. Oh, I get it. We didn't notice its existence all this time, because it was being hidden by this tarp. Alright then, let's fold this thing up and see what's underneath. Now this is what I call a treasure. Lockers. Go back. Wow, this must be another entrance to the secret hidden basement. I totally smell treasure. The scent I wish to smell is the sweet fragrance of freedom. Then what are you waiting for? Hurry up and open the hatch. Alright. This thing is locked down tight. Aw, fiddlesticks. Well, luckily we have logic on our side. Tiny key. Underground entrance. I believe you're up, Kay. Huh? Why me? Because we need to use this tiny key that you've taken quite a liking to. Oh, gotcha. Just leave it to me. I love the tense feeling of these moments when you're about to uncover something big. I believe the feeling of freedom would be much more satisfying right about now. Alright, I got the secret door open. And now... wait. What? Ah! Are you alright, Kay? I'm fine. The letter just slipped is all. Thank goodness she's alright. I about had a coronary. There's a lot of really harsh machinery down here. What about an exit? It's really dark and cramped down there, so I really doubt there's an exit. Well, hey Hellfire Skyrim. 2 games you might like to do for October. No promises, but let's hear them, Hellfire Skyrim. And how you doing today? You have only yourself to blame for leaping before you looked, you know? No way. I mean, how was I supposed to know about that the ladder is removable? Aha. Underground ladder. Lockers. I figured out how we will escape this prison. K. Oh, so how are we going to bust out? It seems that your reckless actions were of use after all. Are you actually praising me? More of a thank you for giving me an idea regarding this ladder. The underground ladder? What about it? This ladder isn't just for those who wish to go down. Oh, I see. If we use this... Yes, I believe it's long enough to reach the top of those lockers. Well, then what are we waiting for? Yay! Little Goody 2 Shoes, which is a game where your main character is kind of suspected of being a witch, and its sequel, Pocket Mirror. Send me a whisper with those names or a Discord message, Hellfire Skyrim. Then I can check them out later on. Little Goody 2 Shoes. Sounds strange. Yes, we spent entirely too much time in here. Kidnappers who held me hostage and a mysterious Interpol agent. This case is only getting started, and I'll be the one to bring it to a resounding end. I found the murderer. It's the kitty cat. It's the kitty cat. Hey, we're in Red Dead land. Nice. It looks like it stopped raining for now. Yeah, and thank goodness. You have no idea how hard it was raining earlier. You'll DM me the Steam pages. Thank you. Appreciate it, my friend. Mr. Edgeworth! I'm so glad to see you managed to escape, sir. I was so stressed that I thought my heart was gonna give out. Detective Gumshoe, may I ask what in the world that is? Well, that's, oh boy. Count off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 98, 99. Shifu, all 99 members are here and accounted for, sir. Oh dear. Heh, what the heck do you think you're doing counting my cubs off like that? Every person is a valuable human being, you get me? And everyone has a name and that their parents gave to them. No one is a 2 or a 3. Everyone, regardless of age or rank, is number 1. Got it? I like that he's just... MIB? What does that mean? Shifu! Shifu! You are Agent Lang, I take it. You infidel! How dare you address our Shifu so rudely? Grrr! Lang Zi says, a cub who disrespects others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. So don't you ever forget to show the proper respect toward another person. Shina? Shina? Is that how you say that? Shina? Shina. This isn't much, but please accept my card. Oh, thank you. Please accept mine in return. You all see just now, this is the proper way for two people to show their respect. You have no clue how to pronounce that properly. I'll just go what I've called her for the past God knows how many years. Keep that in mind and you'll get far in life, got it? Ah, that's right. Franziska did warn me. Something about an elite Interpol agent from the Republic of Zhengfa. Apparently this man has the highest successful arrest rate in the organization. Agent Lang, why exactly is an Interpol agent involved with this clearly domestic case? That's none of your business, Mr. Prosecutor. How is it not? I've heard a rumor or two about you. You solved a murder that occurred during your flight home recently, right? Ha, but you sure took a while just to arrest one little flight attendant. How pathetic. How dare you say that about Mr. Edgeworth? Are you saying you could have solved it faster, pal? The comedic relief jumps to the aid of his master. How cliché. Look, what I'm getting at is that if I had been there, no one would have died. I would have solved the entire case and Agent Hicks would still be with us here today. Agent Lang knew yesterday's victim, Agent Akby Hicks. Hicks was like a brother to me, so now I'm out to take my revenge. Agent Hicks was investigating a smuggling ring with Franziska and a third person. This must be the man she was talking about. In that case, you should understand how I feel, as the kidnapped is someone I know. The Men in Black. I gotcha. Men in Black. So I ask that you... This isn't your neatly trimmed courtroom of Eden, you know. You're out in the wilderness now, Mr. Prosecutor, and way out of your league. No hard feelings, but why don't you go on back to your courtroom now, pretty boy? You dare to mock the court? I do, and I don't need the help of a filthy prosecutor. Sorry, but the truth doesn't need the likes of you to distort it today. Who uses the adjective filthy to describe a prosecutor? And why? Why do I feel such intense loathing emanating from him? You DM you both. Alrighty. Thank you, hi Hellfire Skyrim. So everyone in chat, you know how Miles Edgeworth is Phoenix Wright's rival in most of the games? This is Miles Edgeworth's rival. So, enjoy him. Alright, men. Good job on the perimeter around Gatewater Land. Now just find me the kidnapper and bring the punk to me. Dismissed. Sir. Now then, Mr. Prosecutor, you just sit tight here and don't cause any trouble, understand? Wait. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, it's been a while since I last met someone so disagreeable. Why of all places did he show up here, and completely out of the blue at that? I suppose I'll have to ask Detective Gumshoe to fill me in on that. Okay. We got a lot of stuff to examine, including this kitty cat. Going from the clever but frequent desperate Phoenix to this, that's quite impressive. It is. I highly doubt I'll find a clue in here, but I might as well check just to be sure. Meh, this barrel sure is heavy. You there, do you know what's inside of this thing? It's the emergency water supply for putting out fires. I see. Well, they certainly are well prepared. Aw, I can't examine the kitty? The kitty cat? Great job, Detective. Sir, for losing sight of me and the kidnapper and allowing my investigation to be hijacked. Sir, I look forward to your next month's salary assessment. But the case isn't lost yet, sir. I'm gonna show you just how much of a man Dick Gumshoe can be. Shall I prepare the 21 gun salute an hour later? Detective, are you sure it was the precinct you called for backup? Of course, sir. I think I would know the number to my own precinct like the back of my hand. Then why did an Interpol agent show up instead with an army of his own agents? That I have no idea. About 5 minutes after I made the call, that Wolfman showed up out of nowhere, sir. Agent Lane definitely has an agenda. So the question is, what is he after? Mr. Edgeworth, I was wondering if I may ask about one thing, sir. Yes, what is it? Who is that? That girl over there, I mean. I'm Mr. Edgeworth's assistant, Kay Faraday. What? Funny, I don't recall making you my assistant, Kay. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Me. It's been like that since forever. Sorry, but I just stole your supporting role. How can you say something so serious with that giant grin on your face, pal? Mr. Edgeworth, we got a thief on our hands, sir. She stole my role, sir. Taking her in, getting her convicted, and making sure she serves out her sentence. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. Like musical chairs. You better stay fast on your feet. No way. I won't not lose to the spotlight to you, little girl. Oh, Gumshoe. Man, I can't calmly do any stealing at all with that detective around. Suppose it's not easy when there's this many members of law enforcement in this vicinity. It's alright. It's not like I'm in a hurry to steal just any old thing. Which is it? Do you plan on to steal something or not? Quite the mystery, this one. Maybe I should talk with her a bit more. So what are you going to do about your investigation into the kidnapping? Good question. Since Agent Lang holds the authority to investigate the case now, this makes things a bit more complicated. Oh, come on, you can't let that stop you. I'll even lend you a hand. Let's go. But you're a self-purported great thief, are you not? I don't believe I can let someone of an unlawful nature participate in an investigation. You don't like to listen, do you? I'm not just any old great thief. I'm the Yatagarasu. As I said earlier, the Yatagarasu is after one and only one thing. What's that? What is this one and only one thing you're after? The Yatagarasu is only interested in one thing, and that is the truth. I see. It was 7 years ago. It was a vigilante who threw the business world into a panic. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appeared and vanished at will. But we still don't know how much about this thief's ultimate goal. We do know the targets. The Yatagarasu like to find and publicly disclose evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. Once a target was chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement was sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation was infiltrated and without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found was sent out to the mass media, along with a card with the mark of the three-legged raven. Looking back, I suppose you could call what the Yatagarasu was stealing the truth. Could this child really be the successor to the original Yatagarasu? But that can't be, can it? Lance! Lance! Where are you, son? Oh, it's this guy. Mr. Amano? Oh, Miles, my boy, I'm sorry to involve you in such an affair just after you've returned. For you, Mr. Amano, I'd gladly offer my assistance. After all, I have you to thank for how well things turned out during my time abroad. If it wasn't for you, I might not have been introduced to that law office, and had the chance to study the inner workings of another country's judicial system. No, no, no. Think nothing of it. As you know, Manfred and I go way back. Is that a good thing? I consider a beloved disciple of his to be like one of my own blood. If you ever want to go overseas again, you need only to ask. I can use my company's vast network to send you anywhere at any time. So who's the old man? He is the father of the current kidnapped Lance Amano, Ernest Amano. Now then, have you found Lance yet, Miles? Please, I miss my poor boy dearly. I'm terribly sorry, but your son's whereabouts remain unknown, Mr. Amano. What? Hold on there. Then what happened to all the money? I believe the 1 million has been stolen, and that the culprits are now on the run. Immediately suspicious? Oh yeah, I'll say. What? Poor old man. Don't you have anything you could give him to cheer him up, Mr. Edgeworth? Forgive me, Mr. Amano. Kidnapping. I was wondering if you could please tell me the details of the kidnapping one more time. Oh, it was yesterday. A call came to the house. From the receiver came the sound of my son. Help me, Daddy. Sniff. I know this is tough, but please stay with me here, Mr. Amano. You don't understand. He hasn't called me Daddy in ages. It was incredibly moving. I wish I had recorded him saying that. He definitely should have recorded that conversation, but not for the foolish sentimentalities of an old man. Refresh my memory. What kind of person is Lance again? How will telling you about Lance help you get him back? Surprisingly, a lot can be deduced from a person's relationships and behavior. Very well then, Lance is my one and only son, and he turns 21 this year. He is very much like me when I was his age, kind and very attractive. I'm sure women simply can't keep their eyes off of him. Is there anything else about him you noticed of late? Now that you mention it, I haven't been able to get in contact with our butler, Oliver. Your butler? Yes, his name is Oliver Deacon. He's been with our family for years now. He gets along so well with Lance, so I thought maybe he would go where my son is. Guys, the murderer is the butler. Clearly. I mean, there hasn't been a murder yet, but the murderer is the butler. Mr. Amano, could you please tell me a little more about your butler, Mr. Deacon? As a butler, he's outstanding. He even serves as Lance's personal private tutor. He took a brief leave recently, but even after it was over, I haven't been able to reach him. You still haven't spoken with him since his leave. What about his family and friends? They said they hadn't seen him. I tried everything I could think of, Miles. Do you think this could have something to do with Lance's kidnapping? It's possible, but I can't say anything for sure quite yet. So even the person closest to the victim had gone missing. Oliver Deacon. Sounds like one name I had better keep in mind. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Let's begin our investigation. Even if that Interpol agent holds authority to head this investigation, we can't allow ourselves to stand idly by, twiddling our thumbs. I'm with you 100%, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I, Dick Gumshoe, pledge to stick by your side through thick and thin. Mr. Amano, it was my fault that the culprits escaped, which is why, with your blessing, I vow to return Lance to you myself. Oh, I've never seen you so passionate before, Miles. Good luck to you, my boy. Alright, well, what are you waiting for? Let's do some investigating. If you think I'm losing to you, pal, forget it. So what should we examine first? Thanks to Agent Lane, we can leave this area, but the culprits were here until only very recently, which means we may be able to find some clues that will tell us how they escaped. Okay, let's get looking. Hey, you there. Who, me? What are you doing goofing off in a place like this? Wasn't goofing off, I was about to help Mr. Edgeworth kick off his investigation. You imbecile. All precinct detectives are now under Agent Lane's direct command. No way! I am not working for Wolf Boy. Mr. Edgeworth, can't you do something? I'm not exactly in a position to argue, seeing as how you are a member of the police. Good, now let's go. No! Boy, have I got just the job for someone of your talents. Well, that was exciting. Okay. What? Can't you tell I'm all ready to get down to some detective work? You should go home. Your parents must be worried about you. Oh, come on, I finally get to be your assistant and you try to ditch me? I don't recall offering you the position. Why don't you have to be so difficult? Besides, it's already too late, you know? Like I said, I've already stolen the position of assistant a while back. Ha, you're the only one asserting that. Well, by the time anyone notices, it's already gone. That's the Yatagarasu way. You shouldn't speak so lightly of things you know nothing about. Fine, whatever. You win. Go ahead and do your little investigation. But the talented assistant K is going to tag along no matter what you say. Even if she turned out to be useless, she's not going to listen to me. Might as well surrender and let her come along for the ride. There's some footprints. Hey, there's a bunch of footprints in the mud over here. I remember hearing rain fall out here while I was being held here. Yep, it was just a passing rain. That's why the ground is already pretty much dried up. I should be thankful. It left us with some nice footprint samples. You know what? I bet if we follow them, we can find out where the kidnappers went. Plus, we'd be able to spot them because of their muddy shoes. I don't think it will be that easy. Why not? Look carefully. There's quite a few different sets here. And we don't know which ones belong to the kidnappers. Oh, that's true. We don't know what kind of shoes they were wearing. You do like your name? Wonder why they decided to go with Faraday, though? You'll have to see. I won't reveal anything just yet. Or, you know, ever. Okay, so he's done. Look, there's a blurb about the cactus here. This cactus is a very gracious gift to Gatewaterland from the local police precinct. I can't believe the police went so far as to even donate a cactus to this place. So is the police department running a cactus farm on the side? Just kidding, they wouldn't do something so silly. Actually, I have the vague impression I've seen this cactus farm at the precinct before. Ha ha. If these were real, I wonder what you'd put in them. Water would be the obvious answer. But if you stored water in a barrel under the blazing hot sun, wouldn't it go bad? People of that period probably didn't care about how it tasted. Sorry, but I can't let you get away with making fun of our forefathers. I mean, maybe they really like the strange taste. Look who's making fun of them now. What else have we got? A rope? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, isn't this one of those things you tie horses to? Yes, although the horses are in another location at the moment. Aw, here I was hoping I would get to ride one. You know how to ride a horse? Nope, never rode one in my life. But I have an Asian friend who was born in the year of the horse. Non sequitur is the only way to describe your logic. Well, we'll examine the cat again. Ha, I got you now, you vile criminals. I think the kidnappers would have better sense than to try hiding in these. Oh, come on, lighten it up, will ya? I was only joking. I don't really think the criminals would be hiding in here right in front of two officers. I certainly hope not. What about our friend the copper here? Excuse me, but if you could just let me through here. Sorry, can't let anyone through. Agent Lang's orders. Yeah, I suppose I'll have to deal with this and pass for now. Alright. I know who you all want me to talk to. Let's just talk to this guy first. It's a set of tire tracks originating from the garage. Ah, so that means a car left from the garage at some time, right? Correct, but for the car to leave these tracks would mean that it left during the passing rain. That's the only explanation as to why these tracks are made of mud. For the record, Michael Faraday was a scientist. He is responsible for a lot of our knowledge on electromagnetism. Oh. I don't think it has anything to do with that guy then. Considering what route this game is gonna take. What will this route take? I won't say. Horses are painted on the garage door to complete the Wild West theme. It looks so lifelike, don't you think? Are you thinking of wrangling, or rather stealing them? If you can coax them out of here, sir, sure. Come on, I know you can sweet talk them out. I could be holding a cube of sugar in my hand and they wouldn't budge, Kay. Alright. Hello, Mr. Badger. Mr. Blue Badger. Oh god, the music. Remember the music, guys? It's back. Hey, it's the Blue Badger. Badger, get! I really don't understand why she is so excited over this badger hunt. Speaking of badgers, there's a person inside of there. Mr. Badger, I wonder if you might share with me what you saw. Wasn't the badger Gumshoe's invention? No. The chief police person, made it. Gumshoe built a dancing thing. That's what he did. He's doing that contorted, wriggling dance again. Aha! Ah! You've uncovered my undercover identity, sir. I was to remain under that head, sir. Aren't you Officer Meekins? Sir. Mike Meekins reporting for duty, sir. This man was a witness in one of the cases I headed 2 years ago. About the only thing I remember about this officer is that he often spoke and acted before he thought, which gave me a great deal of headaches. He's back! Is he a friend of yours, Mr. Edgeworth? I've met him in the courtroom once before. Why was he so upset when we unmasked him? Does he have something to hide? Officer Meekins, why are you standing here wasting time? Sir, because I'm not a police officer right now, sir. I'm the Blue Badger. And I'm creating memories and dreams for kids. That's never a waste of time, sir. I have a dream to become as big as Detective Gumshoe, sir. I was patrolling the scorchingly boring beat until a little while ago, when that dispatch radio on my shoulder crackled that the kidnappers had escaped, sir. I thought maybe this was my shot at making detectives, sir. I rushed over to join in, but when I got here, there was a sea of people already, and I couldn't spread my trademark friendliness and joy on to anyone. It would seem that some people never change. So why exactly are you in that ridiculous outfit? Sir, that's because, sir, I'm here to keep visitors in good spirits, sir, but it's also to hide the fact that I'm an officer on the trail of a kidnapper, sir. I see. Agent Lang is very wise to employ this sort of diversionary tactics. To be honest, to be handed the role of the Blue Badger out of all the different disguises, sir, it's such an honor. I do not remember if that's the voice I gave him, but screw it. How long have you been sitting there, officer? Sir, for about 1 little hour, sir. That's around the time I woke up from being knocked out unconscious. And I've been here ever since, sir. If that's true, then it's possible Officer Meekins saw the kidnappers escaping. But, however, sir, I must tell you I didn't see a thing, sir. I haven't asked you anything yet, officer. No, but I know you will, sir. He's hiding something from me. Officer Meekins, I insist that you tell me more about your recent movements. Sir, I've been playing the Blue Badger this whole time, sir, and getting into it, too. I patrolled the park all while wearing this costume, and about 1 hour ago I came over here, sir. I hadn't seen any suspicious-looking people this whole time, sir. But I did see a badger, sir. A lone Blue Badger. What you said just now is contradictory to the facts. How so, Mr. Edgeworth? This is what Officer Meekins' testimony contradicts. No. Yes. Only one of each of the 4 family members wandering throughout the park. Best of luck!
Take that!
Officer Meekins, let's back things up. I'd like to ask you about your last statement. Sir, of course, sir. If that's your wish, Mr. Prosecutor. This little patrolman will wait as long as I am commanded to wait. You said that you saw a Blue Badger, correct? And yet, if you take a look at this, what you saw was not supposed to happen. This park is supposed to have only one of each badger in it at any given time. Which means that as long as you are the Blue Badger, Officer Meekins, you should not have seen another Blue Badger wandering the premises. What, sir? Then that would mean that there are 2 Blue Badgers walking around? But why? Alright. It might be time for logic. Logic times. Costumes. Shoes, second Blue Badger. Maybe these? If this is wrong, then fudge. Ah! Meekins, you magnificent dork. I know, right? Gotta love him. A second blue badger that shouldn't exist. Clearly the true identity of the person underneath is... Oh, I know. It's one of the kidnappers, right? This person wore a costume to get away. Precisely. After all, the costumes that went missing from the storage area are... a blue badger, a proto-badger, and a bad badger. Yes, those three. So there are 3 phony badgers running around in the park somewhere, huh? Oh. Now that we know that the kidnappers were wearing badger costumes, those footprints from earlier take on a new and very significant meaning. Oh, you mean how we know which tracks belong to the kidnappers, right? Yes, more than shoe prints, we need to follow the paw prints of badgers. Okay, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to use those footprints and go badger hunting. Okay. Right here. So we're looking for footprints made by a costume. Hey, I think I found them. There are 2 sets here. They both do look like possible candidates. This set is walking off to the west. It just stops. I can't make heads or tails of where it's headed from here. I think we can assume it's heading toward the stadium. I wonder where the other set leads. This one seems to be heading east. Huh? Quick, Mr. Edgeworth, I've got him. I've got one of the culprits. No, I'm not a kidnapper, sir. Down, Kay. Clearly those footprints belong to Officer Meekins, but our criminals were each wearing a costume. Aha, maybe they came over to this garage for something. That's what I would suppose. Officer Meekins, if you could step aside for a moment. We need to examine the garage. Sir, Roger Wilco, sir. Alright, open we will do. Let's open the shutter and see what we find. Maybe we'll find the kidnappers hiding inside. Ah! Oh. What in the... We seem to have stumbled across a dead body. She must be in severe shock to have been the first to find it. Now then, who is this man? It's Oliver! Mr. Amano, are you saying that this man is... Yes, he's my butler. How could something like this have happened? Indeed, and why was Mr. Deacon here to begin with? I better investigate this crime scene quickly before Agent Lang or his men return. The kidnappers' footprints lead right to this garage, and right to a dead body. Is it possible one of the kidnappers is now a murder victim? In my cursory examination, I believe this man died of a fatal bullet wound. It sure are calm for someone who just found a body. It's surprising what one can become accustomed to in the span of 2 days. Won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, that's a twist, guys. There's our dead body. And it's not the butler. It's still gonna be the butler, though, somehow. This is an unusually shaped pendant. What is it? Is it something valuable? She seems to have regained some of her composure. Looks like a horse pendant. It's got an antique feel about it, and it's really pretty. Hold on, this is made of platinum silver. Nice, it is worth something after all. Oh, and look, there's something written on the back. Colin Devere. It's a name. Colin Devere. Colin Devore? Am I saying that last name right, by the way? But this man's name is... weird. Whoa, weird. As long as the Interpol agent has a control of this case, I'm not going to be able to have a real autopsy done on the victim. Close enough. I'm no doctor, but let's see what I can piece together myself. There are 2 gunshot wounds, one on his abdomen and one in his shoulder. So that means he was shot twice. No, I don't think so. I think the abdominal one is the entry wound, and the one near his shoulder is the exit wound. Nice, I knew you could figure it out. Comes with experience, and I've seen my share of crime scenes. Speaking of experience, this crime scene seems a bit too clean for a murder where the bullet went clean through. I should make a note of this oddity. Okay. Nothing in his hand. Nothing in that hand. Well, we have a deduce, guys. What do we got to deduce? I do not know, actually, what this one would be. Okay, maybe I do know, actually. Let's save the game real quick. The name is wrong. There's something not right about the name on the pendant. The victim is the Amano family butler, and his name is Oliver Deacon, but the name on the pendant is Colin Devore. I wonder what's up with that. I don't know, but I think we've hit upon an important piece of information. Yay! Investigation complete. Lance! Lance, where are you, sweetie? Excuse me, but you are? Ba-dump. Oh, this is bad. He's really good looking. Heck, stop it, Lauren. You can't let yourself fall for a playboy like him. You're in love with... Sounds like someone doesn't know the meaning of the phrase inner monologue, huh? Sorry to interrupt your conversation, but might you be a friend of Lance? Yes, I'm Lance's girlfriend. My name is Lauren Paups. Pops? Paups? His girlfriend? Oh, it's not like that. We're more like friends, and, we're not lovers or anything. We haven't gotten that far yet. But I guess that's how people are going to see it, so I should just accept it. Even got this ring as a present from Lance. Swoon! This is adorable. Yep, welcome another character. You know what she reminds me of? A cartoon character. Might I inquire as to why you are here? I haven't been able to get in contact with Lance lately, and I began to get really worried. Sob! I looked everywhere for him, and then I heard about the kidnapping, so I came here. Wow, you're really strong for having made it through all this by yourself. Is it true? Has Lance really been kidnapped? No one is supposed to know, but yes, it's true. Oh, Lance! I can't believe you've been spirited away. I wonder how you're doing right now. Looks like she's gone back to the fair maiden in love routine. So, Mr. Edgeworth, where do we go from here? Well, we found a body, so we should look into the murder. Uh-oh. My men brought me up to speed over the radio, and I have to say, you really should have called. I heard you found something very intriguing. I have nothing to hide, Agent Lang. It's exactly what you see before you. I'll take it from here. Yeah, that guy's really dead. Hey, you waiting for an invitation? Hurry up and detain the suspect now. Suspect? Who? Officer Meekins, is it? You're coming with us. What? Sir? I had nothing to do with it, sir. Agent Lang, don't you think you're being a bit rash? Do you even have the good reason to suspect Officer Meekins? Ha! I leave that kind of stuff to you prosecutors. It's your job after all. Like I said earlier, the crime scene isn't as forgiving as your precious courtroom. That's your answer? I know you like your logic and reasoning. But that sort of impractical fluff is not needed out here in the field. All you have to do is arrest suspicious person after suspicious person. That's how you eliminate crime from the streets. But that's also precisely how you unnecessarily arrest innocent people by mistake. Innocent people? Nonsense. There's no such thing as an innocent person. We've all got a blemish or two in our hearts. That's tyranny. I won't allow such a thing to go on unchecked before my eyes. Heh, too bad you don't call the shots around here. As I have sworn to uphold the laws of this land, I cannot allow you to take this man in. That you would arrest a man on false charges without even conducting an investigation. Have you no honor as a member of law enforcement? You, how dare you speak so disrespectfully to our Shifu? Hold it. Ha 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 ha. You amuse me, Mr. Prosecutor. Lang Zi says, every pack has its own rules. If you can play by their rules and come out on top, that is a true victory. Alright, I'll give your beloved laws a fair shake. I'll show you just how much investigating I've done. Through my line of logic. And here we go. I've seen a lot of bodies like the one being carted off in my time. I can say he was shot in a single glance, but even you figured out that much, right? With your current gun laws, it's it's not exactly easy to get your hands on a gun. Not unless you're a member of the law enforcement like Officer Meekins, isn't that right? That is your reasoning. Solid as a rock. It's based on the philosophy of detainment. What's this philosophy of detainment? Ha, you don't know. In that case, pay attention, girly. In my country, the criminals have a saying, beware of the wolf. Why the wolf? Because in my language, lang means wolf, and you don't mess with me or my pack. As for the detainment philosophy, it's my father. Its father is my honorable ancestor, Lang Z. You'd think I'd have heard of him and his teachings if he's that famous. Lang Z developed it as he worked to lock criminals away thousands of years ago. To this day, the Zhang Fa police still trains its recruits using his philosophies. But thousands of years ago, that makes your story about as believable as a fairy tale. Anything wears down and breaks over time. Do you really believe something as ancient as that can be applied to today's world? You want to put it to a test? I've seen a lot of bodies like the one being carted off in my time.
Hold it!
So what can you tell me about the body? A lot. Even without an autopsy, I have my ways. They teach you the basics of forensics along with the detention philosophy. Oh, then you wouldn't mind telling me a little of what you figured out, correct? I can say he was shot in a single glance, but even you figured that much out, right?
Hold it!
Yes, I think anyone who saw the bullet wounds would come to the same conclusion. Heh, don't pat yourself on the back yet. What's that supposed to mean? Lang Z says, search where the water is deepest. You have to keep your eyes on the big fish that lurks in the depths, which is the killer. Is that right? And what would you know about the killer? With your current gun laws, it's not exactly easy to get your hands on a gun.
Hold it!
It would appear you've studied a little of our laws. Studied? Who needs to study when every child on any street corner already knows? It's that Sheena. The Federal Firearms Restriction Act. That's it, the Federal Firearms Restriction Act. I hear it's not easy to get a gun these days. Interesting. That woman is the one in charge of keeping track of the information. Not unless you're a member of law enforcement like Officer Meekins, isn't that right?
Hold it!
If that's the case, there are plenty of other officers who might be potential suspects. You're not seriously going to arrest each and every one of them, are you? As if I would need to. I've already looked into everyone else here. Oh? Other than Officer Meekins, I know no one else's weapon has been fired. How did you check every single person's weapon in such a short span of time? That's because each and every one of my subordinates is extremely capable. It didn't take more than a few minutes to conduct the entire investigation. It's power of sheer numbers. But you have yet to check Officer Meekins' weapon, correct? Thanks for reminding me. Hey you, show me your gun. Your gun. Oh. What's wrong? Why does he look so sickly pale all of a sudden? Gun. What did you say? I can't hear you. Stop mumbling and spit it out already. Sir, I lost my gun, sir. How can you be so irresponsible? Ha 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 ha. In the end, it looks like you're still the only suspect we've got. You're the only one waiting here outside the garage to ambush and kill the victim. So you think that Officer Meekins waited here to kill the victim, do you, Lang? I think this little accusation deserves a lot more scrutiny. Ambushed the victim in this garage and killed him with his gun.
Hold it!
You mean to tell me that the murder occurred here in this garage? From the fact that the suspect was found almost next to where the body was found, I'd say that it's pretty obvious that this is the crime scene. Lang Z says, a criminal always returns to the scene of the crime. Hey, finally a quote even I've heard of before. Furthermore, Lang Z says, successful investigations are the result of multiple returns to the crime scene. Looks like neither detectives nor criminals have changed their ways over the millenniums. So this is the kind of conclusion that philosophy of detainment can lead you to. I don't get it, Mr. Edgeworth. Why are you putting yourself on the line for Mr. Meekins? It's not that I particularly care about what happens to Officer Meekins. What? However, I can't simply stand by while Agent Lang ignores our country's laws. Shilong Lang. Just what sort of investigator are you? You love his assistant? Yeah, she just appears. Appears with the scrolls. Get ready for a lot of these two guys. There'll be a lot of both of the two of them. What do you think? Victim. Still free costumes. Yeah, sadly I don't know. I do not know, actually. Officer Meekins ambushed the victim in this garage and killed him with his gun. We'll try this one and this one, maybe.
Objection!
Okay. Should be essential to a future case. Maybe. Unfortunately for you, Agent Lang, that is simply not possible. What do you mean? You've seen the crime scene for yourself, and while you were looking, did you not think to yourself that it was a little too clean? Ayah! And with that, guys, I know it's a big cliffhanger or whatever, but I'm gonna save the game here. It's been 3 hours. 3 hours, and we'll end it on epic wolf pose. So thank you for watching. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow with more Eastward and more Rune Factory. So look forward to it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see all of you on the tomorrows. Bye-bye.